Hello everybody, how are you? So I made a life update video a couple weeks ago and a lot of you guys were asking questions about books. Now I have made a video on stuff, but I thought since I'm better at, going for stuff, I thought let's make an update video. So 2025 is the year of books. That's all I think about. That's the only thing I buy besides food. I haven't even bought clothes this year. I don't go shopping unless I have to, but mostly it's because I need to get food and books. And my thing is also, I don't like paying full price for books. My huge thing is thrift stores because you never know what you're gonna find. So I'm just gonna kind of share with you guys some ways to save money on books and all that jazz. So like I said, 2025 is the year of books. I ended up getting this book journal. It was kind of pricey, but next year I'm definitely gonna make my own. I bought the book for next year and I'm actually gonna start working on it so I can finish it by the end of the year. But I'm gonna make some like templates and stuff for it. But I just wanted to start with one early so I kind of have an idea. So this is something optional that you guys want, but I know a lot of people like to make journals on everyday life, and I'll show you with you guys in a second. So if you are a hardcore reader, or even if you're a little reader, I recommend downloading book apps. So the one that I have been using for maybe 3 or 4 years now is Goodreads. I recommend Goodreads. Number one, you can find a book, add it to your wish list that you want to read, or you can mark it that you read. I usually, have it as I want to read, and then when I read it, it's currently reading. And then you can have a goal if you want to have like 12 books in 1 year or anything like that. And then there's giveaways on that, which I have never won a giveaway. But I really love Goodreads. I really love Goodreads. When we have book club, the ladies, like when we're talking about a book, a lot of us just bring out our app and add it to our wish list. Like we had a Christmas book club party where everybody gifted their favorite book. And everybody was just adding stuff like left and right. So it was nice. And then you can also become friends with some of those people on Goodreads, so then you can see what they're reading. And I really like it because I'm like, oh yeah, I want to read that. I want to read that. So Goodreads is a very good app if you guys haven't used that. Another app that I also have been using is called StoryGraph. I just started using it at the end of the year. It's a little bit slower. Goodreads is kind of connected to Amazon, but StoryGraph, and these are all free. StoryGraph is a little bit slow, but it shows you like more statistics of books that you read. Like it tells you like what genres you read, how much average a day you read, and then it gives you like it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool watching it because then I see like a whole pie and there's like just a little slit for autobiographies and the rest is all like fiction. So recommend StoryGraph if you guys are looking at that. But also those books, you can keep track of what books you're reading, what books you want to read, because then you kind of have an idea. Another thing I have is on my Amazon wish list is I have books that I physically want. And what I end up doing is I go to thrift stores. I went to thrift stores like crazy, but I kind of slowed down. But thrift stores, you never know what you're going to find. You never know what you're going to find. If you guys have watched some of my videos, I've gotten excited. I've actually found by far my #1 book at a thrift store and I paid $2 for it. So I absolutely love thrifting for books. Forgot where I was coming with this. But on my wish list, like there's some books that I want to finish a set, especially like the kids. So what I do is I have like book thrift store wish list, and that's how I add it. So then when you can't remember if you own that book or not, you look and like, oh yeah, I want that. Then after I purchase it, I delete it off that thing. That's how I kind of stay organized with completing sets, especially like kids books and stuff. But that's what I do. But I'm always looking at thrift stores. I'm always looking at stuff on Facebook Marketplace, which I have not bought any from anybody from Facebook Marketplace yet. But I'm always looking. I'm always looking. And then my library has a sale, so I follow a lot of libraries in my area. I have not gone to anybody else's except my local library. But I just went there and I hit the total. So that's how basically I get my books. If you are a Kindle reader, I really recommend doing Kindle Unlimited. I've had Kindle Unlimited for maybe 3 years now. I used to do the trial. So the trial, you can get it for like a month or 3 months and stuff, and then I'd cancel. You wait a couple days, you can sign up again. So like you can sign up and cancel a lot of times. Otherwise, I think it's $12.95 a month, but if you have the money for it, do the 2-year subscription. It ends up becoming $7.99 a month, and I definitely get my money's worth. Like $7.99 a month, and I probably at least read 10 to 20. Wow, well, I've been reading more physical books, but for a while there I was reading like 10 to 15 Kindle books just from the Kindle. I also add books that are not available on Kindle Unlimited. So there's some books that I really want to read, and I have them, and then I do like the no rush shipping on Amazon, so I can get those books at a discount, or Amazon will tell me that, hey, this book's like $1.99, and that's when I get it. So that's another thing if you guys want to get cheap books. I've also made videos where you guys can get a free book of the first read, so that every first of the month they have like 9 books to choose from. So that's a free book. That's an ebook, and you guys get to keep it. You can read it on the Kindle or the Kindle app on your phone. They also have it, if you guys have Amazon Prime, they also have books for Amazon Prime. So you like Amazon Prime reads, and those books are free as long as you have Amazon Prime. So you don't have to have Kindle. You don't have to have Kindle Unlimited to read some of those books. So it'll tell you like read for free. So that's how I kind of got started. I had no idea what I was doing. No idea what I was doing, but I figured it out, and 3 years later I am like an avid reader. Last year I read 210 books. My goal this year is 200, but I'm already at 59 books for the year, and it's only March 15th. So yeah, so let me share with you guys my book journal. Now this is something I've seen a lot of people, like I said, I'm going to hand make mine, but this was just something I wanted to try. One thing I really want to do is color these in, but some of the markers that I found kind of bleed, so I might just let it be, and then I might trace it onto my new one, and see what I can do. Now this is one I do have to fill out. It is a book tracker, and one thing I love is it goes all the way to 300. So what I got to do is color these all in, of what stars they were. If they were 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I've never gave a 1 yet. If I gave a 1, it means I DNF'd it, which means did not finish. So I gotta still work on that. And then there's a reading list, which I don't know why I need to fill that out when I have my reading list right here of the books I read. So it's kind of like double reading it. But there's a lot of pages in here, so I don't know if I want to do that one. Then there's 5-star reads, so I could put all my reads that I did that I gave 5 stars. So I will be filling that one out to see it. There's another one that I really like. It is series trackers. So there's a lot of series of books that I've read and haven't finished the rest of the series. So my goal this year is to finish some of those series that I read. So I got to go through them and figure out what ones I've read and then check them off. So that's something I'm going to do. And I'm probably going to work on this when I go on vacation because I think it's fun. We got trope tracker, which I really don't feel about that. We also have the A to Z challenge, which I absolutely love, because what you do is you pick a book that starts with one of the letters that you read. So I got to update it a little bit because I have finished a couple books. And then we got Read the Rainbow. So you want to find like a book cover that's that color. I haven't really figured out the rainbow, but I got like, I'm glad my mom died, so yellow. So I got that one for sure. Then, so these are ideas for you. We also have the book bingo. I haven't filled this one out yet, but I have to think. And then there's books that says name that book. So like one, you will recommend forever is Archer's Voice. Like I will recommend that book forever. We also have the 50 States Challenge. If you guys want a link to this, let me know because I gotta find it and then I can let you guys know. But basically when you read a book, you color it in, and then I kind of wrote what the book was. So I gotta fill that out some more. And then we have the monthly picks. So your favorite book that you read that month, and then it turns into a winner, the battle of the book. So I think that's really cool because like this month I'm like, okay, what do I want to be? We also have book clubs. So we actually voted on all the books that we're going to be reading up until July. So I just made them up and printed them. I just printed these on sticker paper and then just cut them out. So got that. So those are the books. We have a reading tracker, which you're supposed to keep track of how much minutes or whatever, how many pages you read in a day. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. That's just too much because I read different books and all that fun stuff. So we got genre tracker. Again, I'm not filling that out. here we have the monthly tracker. So I keep track of how many physical books I read, and then I go to like Goodreads and add all the pages up. Physical books, Kindle books, audiobooks, different genres, and then how many are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 stars and all that fun stuff. So I really like that. And then we also have new releases, which I'm not really into new releases. Like maybe there's 1 or 2 that I really want to read, which I should write them down. But other than that, and then we have the to be read. So everybody calls this their TBR. I did not realize how many books I have. Like I have some down here and I have some upstairs. When I wrote this on, I have goals right here. When I wrote this, I had 90 physical books that I have that are on my TBR. I wanted to read at least 50 of those. 50. Turn it down. Second, Ben. 50 of them. And I maybe read one. Ben, turn it down. 5, 6, 7 of them. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But 50. Well, I just had a huge haul, so I have to write more of those books down. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm very excited that these to be read. And then I'm debating on if I want to write the ones down in my Kindle. Like, I don't know how many pages I have on here. Yeah, I don't have that much pages. So I'm like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? So that's my goal. But yeah, on January 20th, my TBR list was 90 of physical books that I want to read. So, and I got it maybe almost to 80, but now I just bought a ton of books. So yes. And then here we got book reviews, which I absolutely love this little section. So what I do is I cut out, or I print out the cover of the book, and then I don't really write the genre down because most of my books are like romance and stuff, so I just leave that blank. But it asks like your pace. So if you read the book super fast, I say it's pace, medium, slow, and then it asks your format. So what I found out is I'm an immersion reader. I like to listen, and I like to read the book at the same time. So if it's like, I've done both. So what I write is I read it on my Kindle, and then I also listened to it on Audible. So I got that. Another one was Hoopla, and I'll go to those apps for you guys in just a second. And then like I wrote if it's a library book, and then I have one where one was a book, but the other part was a Libby, which is the app for the library. So yeah, so I got a lot of books already filled out. So yeah. So that is my book journal. Another, I think I forgot to talk about Libby. So Libby is with your library. What you do is you gotta make sure you have a library card. You're gonna download the Libby app. You're gonna enter your library card number and your information. Now every library is different. My library only lets you have on hold 10 books or audiobooks at a time. So on hold, not to use, but at a time. So like right now I have it maxed out, and then I actually have a want to read list, so I'll add another one to that when one's available. So my library only has 10 that I can put on hold, and then you can check out 10. So you can have 10 checked out and 10 on hold at all the times, and you can choose how long you want to keep it. It's either like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks is maximum, and then you got to return it. Libby, you can actually send those library books to your Kindle. You just hit get library books, and then it'll take you to Amazon, and then Amazon get library books, and then it shows you in your Kindle. So and then when you're done reading it, you just hit click, send back to the library. So I have been using Libby like there's no tomorrow, and I found on the app that it shows me how many books I got, or Audible books, or books that I've gotten on the app last year, and I really liked it. So I think it was like 27. So we're gonna beat that. We're gonna beat that for this year. And then there's another app that I have been using that's through my library. It's called Hoopla. Love it, love it, love it. Now that most people have Libby. Not everybody uses Hoopla. Hoopla is it also is books, but the only thing is you can only read those books on your phone. You can't like send them to your Kindle. So you have to read the books on your phone, but they also have Audible books. My library only lets you use 7 at a month. So 7. So once you're maxed out at 7, then you gotta wait for the next month for it to refresh. So 7 checkouts at a time. And last month was the first time I used all 7. There's movies on there too. So if you guys are looking for movies, they got movies, but it's only a limit of 7 for that. And then my library just started using Blackstone, which is audiobooks. Now, there's maybe 4 books on that whole entire app that I want to use, and they're available instantly. There's no waiting list. Hoopla, there's no waiting list. You can get, if you want to check that out now, you check it out now. Libby, there's always a waiting list, and it's mostly in your library system. It's not all the United States. It's just in your library. So like if it says there's 100 copies, that means your library system has 100 copies and only 100 people can check that out. So sorry, my husband came down here and I'm like, go away. So yeah, so that's pretty much all there is for books if you guys are kind of interested in getting decent or free books. I've been maximizing my library like crazy. Like so I also use my library app like crazy, which my library uses an app called LinkCat. Now my app is kind of wonky, so I just been going straight to the website itself. But I have a list of books on there that I want to read, but I want to read them in a certain order. So what I actually have them on is suspended, so I don't get like the 3rd book before I get the 2nd book. But I've been really like pushing library books. Like that's one thing I go to the library 2-3 times a week. That's how much I just absolutely love my library. Yes, I am finding books at the thrift store, but not every single book that I read is available on the library. Not every single book that I read is available on Kindle Unlimited, and sometimes I just like the feel of books. I really like the feel of the books. I have this like lap thing that I use now that holds my books. It is going to be spring in a couple days. I am ready to lay on my hammock. I already did that yesterday. I am ready to just lay and read, and I am so excited. So yeah, so there is tons of things that you guys can do without paying for books, but I always suggest if you guys are ever at a thrift store, just check it out because you never know what you're going to find. You never know what you're going to find. Like I found a book that lives in my head rent-free, and let me share it with you guys. It lives in my head rent-free. And I just had to get it. Now what a lot of people do is they get trophies. Now you're like, what the heck is a trophy? So if you read a book that is like the best and you read it like digitally and you really want it, you get a trophy. Now this one's called Pen Pal. I found this when I was at my parents' house last weekend, and you guys will watch this when I do a haul, but I saw it and I'm like, I found it. And I mean, look at how good condition this is. But I found one with sprayed edges. And if you guys are not sure what sprayed edges are, you got a book with no sprayed edges, and then you got a book with sprayed edges. And I'm just like, huh, this book is so good. If you guys like kind of like a dark, well, it's not really that dark. It looks like it's dark, but it's not. It's a romance book, and when you get to the end, you're like, what? Like, I literally dropped my jaw, and I had to finish the rest of the book because I was just like, what is going on? What is going on? So yeah, so if you guys are looking for book recommendations, make sure you guys are following me. I'll show you guys hauls and stuff. I'm also posting more on my Instagram of books that I'm starting to read, and stuff like that. So if you guys are like, okay, what book are you reading? What book are you reading? You guys can see that. And if you have any questions, I love to talk book. I love to talk book. I go to school the other day, and my school has a little free library for the adults. And I walk by, and the guidance counselor's like, are you okay? I says, oh yeah, I'm just looking at the books. She's like, oh, and then we just started talking about books. I'm like, sorry, I gotta go check on the kids, you know. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, so make sure you guys are checking out thrift stores if you don't want to pay full price. There's people always giving away books. Check out little free libraries. Check them out. I know they always say like give some, so if you guys ever, if you're a person who doesn't want clutter and doesn't want the books, you can always read a book and then go put it in a different free little library. I put a lot of kids stuff in there. Some of the books that I've recently gotten I might put in there, so right now I'm just waiting for my bookshelf to see how pretty it's going to be. But yes, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for helping me feed my book addiction. But yeah, 58 books, or 58 or 59 books I've read just this year alone. Just this year alone. My goal is to read 16 books a month to hit my goal, and I'm already 18 books ahead of schedule. So, got that going on. But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.